The syllabus can be found under the Syllabus tab in Canvas. Reviewing the syllabus is very important as it ensures we are all on the same page with the course objectives and where you can find many answers to your questions. The syllabus review does tend to be dry, but it is necessary. At the top of the syllabus, I've listed the course information, my name and contact information, and the course due dates. You are welcome to reach out to me via email or Canvas inbox. I respond very quickly. I ask that you give me 24 hours to respond, although I usually respond much faster than that. If you would like to meet with me face-to-face, I will send emails to the class when I plan to be on campus, and we can make an appointment. Next, I have the course outcomes listed and a note about the course format. This course is an 8-week online course. This means that we do not have face-to-face class meetings and that we have to cover all of the material within 8 weeks. The material we will cover this summer is the same amount of material I cover in my 15-week courses. Next, I have the 2 books that are required for the course and some recommended materials. The course is online, so use whatever note-taking materials work for you. Next, I have the class schedule listed. It lists the first day of that school week, which is a Monday, the weekly agenda, the discussion boards, and the assignments students should expect to work on that week. Please note that this material is subject to change. After the schedule, I have listed the assignment groups. Longer prompts for each assignment will be made available as we approach those assignments. The first major essay is a rhetorical analysis essay, which is what weeks 2 and 3 will primarily focus on. For argument and synthesis parts 1 and 2, there are 2 conditions for these assignments. If you do not do argument part 1, you are barred from doing part 2. Without part 1, there is nothing to revise or develop for part 2. I hold this policy firmly, so do not ask if you can do part 2 if you did not submit part 1, and do not request additional time for part 1 as I don't have time to give in an 8-week course. The second requirement for this assignment is that you complete a revision proposal after submitting part 1. If you don't give me part 1 and or you don't give me the proposal, you cannot complete part 2. The literary analysis will focus on the novel 1984. I suggest starting the book sooner rather than later. It's a very interesting read, but it is a longer read. You may want to consider listening to the audiobook. There are many free versions online. There is a 1984 film, but it differs from the novel in many ways. So read the book, don't just watch the movie. The grading scale is standard. There are 1,000 points total for the course. So if you earn 900 or more points, that is an A, between 800 and 899, a B, and so on. You are responsible for reviewing the classroom requirements and expectations, but I will touch on them briefly in the video. I expect that all assignments are submitted in a timely manner, and I expect assignments will be submitted via Canvas. Be sure to refer to the syllabus or check Canvas for the method, whether it's assignment Dropbox or discussion board, in which an assignment must be submitted. Incomplete assignments will have points deducted at a rate of 5% for every 5% not completed. So, for example, if you're 50 words short of a 1,000-word essay worth 100 points, I will deduct 5 points automatically, and for the same assignment, if you're 100 words short, I will deduct 10 points automatically. The 50% rule is that assignments worth 25 points or more will receive an automatic grade of 0 if they are less than 50% complete. All writing assignments, including rough drafts, should be in MLA format, meaning typed, double-spaced, and in 12-point Times New Roman font. The student's name, course number, and date should be included on the first page. Page numbers at the upper right-hand corner The student's last name should also be included. If your work is not in MLA format, you run the risk of having it returned to you to redo with points deducted. All assignments must be turned in on time. Please note that the assignment drop boxes close 2 days after the due date. Any assignment that is 1 day late without prior consent from the instructor will be docked 1 full letter grade. If it's 2 days late, it will be docked 2 full letter grades. I will only accept up to 1 major assignment beyond the 2 days with the completion of a form and a chat meeting, and students will be able to receive up to 50% of the points available. So with the meeting, the student submits the essay, the best possible grade he or she could receive would be 50%. Subsequent late assignments will not be granted this extension. This does not apply to the literary analysis or the final essay, as these are due during finals week, and there's no room for this kind of flexibility. If there are issues turning in an assignment, please let me know as soon as possible. This is an online course, so not having access to the internet is not an acceptable excuse. The college has computers students may use, and there are several places where Wi-Fi is free. I have an ungradable policy. This means assignments that I deem ungradable will be returned and will not be graded until the student has rectified the issue noted by the instructor. An ungradable assignment is one that is not in MLA format with 12-point Times New Roman double-spaced appropriate headings, with so many spelling and wording issues that I cannot read or understand what was written, or is missing a works cited page. Any assignment that is returned must be resubmitted by the date noted by the instructor. This date will be contingent upon the type of issue. For example, MLA formatting issues would be given 24 hours, whereas a missing works cited page might be given 48 hours. I offer extra credit for tutoring. Students may receive 5 points of extra credit for a major writing assignment if they present proof they attended tutoring. Proof would be a tutoring slip or other written documentation. Students may also choose to use e-tutoring and present the returned draft as proof. Please note that the cutoff for providing proof is within 1 week of turning in a final draft, and the date must have occurred before the assignment was submitted. Be sure to keep up with the readings. Each essay assigned requires that students complete some type of reading ahead of time. For the novel, be sure to get started soon. Attendance is mandatory. I will report attendance based upon participation in discussion boards, and students are expected to log into the course every 24 to 48 hours. Please note that the Arts and Humanities policy is that 5 hours of missed class time constitutes an F. In an 8-week course, that means a full week of no participation on discussion boards and with assignments before the midterm will result in a grade of FAW. 1 week of unexcused absences after the midterm will result in an F. Be sure to communicate any extenuating circumstances or difficulties with logging in the course. For more information on the impact of absences or course withdrawal, see the sections on FAW and withdrawals or refer to the LCCC handbook. Do not plagiarize, period. The penalty for plagiarism for minor assignments like discussion boards and rough drafts and journals will be a 0 for the assignment. 3 or more instances of cheating or plagiarism on minor assignments will require the student to write a brief essay, 2 pages, detailing their experience with plagiarism, the problems with plagiarism, and making a statement that they will not plagiarize any further. The essay will not be graded, the assignment will not be graded, but it's required if the student wishes to have further assignments accepted for credit. The penalty for plagiarism for a single major writing assignment will be an F grade for the paper. The paper may be rewritten with 20% automatically deducted, and the student will be required to write a brief essay about plagiarism as noted above. The penalty for plagiarizing on a second major essay assignment will be failure in the course. The rest of the syllabus consists of the college's policies. It includes information on tutoring and other services on campus. If you have an accommodation, send it to me as soon as possible. Accommodations do not roll over, and they do not take effect until written documentation from accessibility services is provided to the instructor. Administrative withdrawals are available if you have documented emergencies. Reach out to your advisor if you need to drop the course and you think you qualify. Attendance is mandatory, and I'm required to report attendance. If you're unable to continue in the course, you should discuss with your advisor. There are several other resources listed here, like CARE, the Commodore Cupboard, and the Crisis Text Line. FERPA requires that instructors do not share information about grades with anyone other than individual students and the college. I cannot and will not speak to your parents or anyone else about your grades, so do not have your parents reach out to me. If you have a question, you must reach out to me to discuss. Financial aid goes hand in hand with the attendance policy, which brings us to midterm grades, which are to give you an idea of where you stand in the course at the halfway point of the semester. Midterm grades do not show up on your final report card. The exception to this is the FAW grade. Remember that if you disappear for a full week before the midterm, you are at risk for receiving the FAW grade being removed from the course. If you choose not to continue with the course, I advise meeting with your counselor or advisor to withdraw. There are resources available for students who qualify for second chance, and there are veterans resources as well. The student code of conduct should be adhered to. If you need a review of this, there is a link here that you can reference. The smoke-free clause falls under the code of conduct. LCCC has resources for both men and women who need help. And that's it. If you have any questions on these policies, let me know.